So the monks had this concept. The lotus flower doesn't grow in clean water. It grows in mud, heavy, dirty mud. And it doesn't just survive there. It uses it, pushes through it, blooms into something pure on the other side. Most people spend their whole lives running from the mud. They want the clean path. But that path doesn't exist. The Lotus Method is simple. The struggle isn't blocking your growth. The struggle is the growth. The mud is the fuel. But here's where most people mess this up. They hear do hard things and think it's about punishment, about suffering for no reason. That's exactly why they quit after 2 weeks. There's a right way to do this, and a wrong way that keeps you exhausted and stuck. Let me show you the difference. Part 1. The Lotus Effect. Here's something interesting about the actual plant. Scientists found that the lotus has this property: water and dirt literally cannot stick to its surface. They hit the petal and roll right off, self-cleaning. The monks saw this as more than biology. They saw it as a lesson about the mind. In Eastern philosophy, there's this idea that suffering doesn't come from what happens to you. It comes from what sticks to you. The thoughts you hold on to, the emotions you let linger, the mental weight you carry from one moment into the next. The goal isn't to avoid difficulty. It's to let difficulty pass through you without leaving a mark. And that's exactly what happens when you do hard things consistently. Let me show you what I mean. Throughout this video, I'm going to use a character called Gohan. He's not a real person. He's all of us. The guy with potential who keeps getting in his own way. I use him because it's easier to see our patterns in someone else. So, Gohan, smart guy, has goals, but everything sticks to him. A weird comment from a coworker, thinking about it all day. Someone cuts him off in traffic, mood gone. His girlfriend says something slightly off, replaying it for a week. His mind is Velcro for negativity. So Gohan starts doing hard things on purpose. Cold showers, workouts when he doesn't feel like it, sitting with discomfort instead of running from it. 6 months go by, same job, same girlfriend, same traffic, same annoying people. But now, that stuff doesn't stick. The comment slides off. The traffic is just traffic. He's not carrying it into the rest of his day anymore. That's mental Teflon. When you've already done something hard by 7 a.m., the petty stuff can't touch you. You're operating from a different place. You've trained your mind to let things pass through. Now I know what you're thinking. So I just suffer every morning forever? That sounds miserable. If that's what this was, random suffering with no purpose, you'd be right to quit. But the monks weren't masochists. There's a principle behind this that changes everything. Miss it and you'll burn out in a month. Part 2. Tactical friction. So here's the thing. The monks didn't just suffer randomly. They weren't grinding through misery hoping it would pay off someday. They were strategic about it. In Zen Buddhism, there's this practice called misogi. Monks would stand under freezing waterfalls, not because they enjoyed it, because they understood something about the mind. The mind wants comfort. That's its default. And if you always give it comfort, it becomes weak, fragile. Every small discomfort feels like a crisis. But if you give it intentional difficulty, on your terms with purpose, something shifts. You're not fighting the mud anymore. You're using it, just like the lotus. Gohan learned this the hard way. First few weeks, he was doing it wrong. Waking up at 4 a.m., cold showers, skipping meals, saying yes to every difficult thing he could find. By week 3, he was exhausted, burned out, ready to quit, because he missed the point. He was suffering randomly. No purpose, no strategy, just pain for the sake of pain. That's not the Lotus Method. That's self-destruction. So he changed his approach. Instead of random suffering, he got intentional. One hard thing in the morning, purposeful, targeted, something that actually moved his friction threshold. See, everyone has a friction threshold. The point where things feel too hard and you quit. You tap out. Go find something easier. For most people, that threshold is embarrassingly low. One inconvenience and they're done. But when you do hard things daily, on purpose, with intention, you move that line. You recalibrate what hard even means. Gohan stopped trying to do everything hard. He picked specific friction, strategic discomfort. The cold shower wasn't punishment. It was training his mind to act before it could talk him out of it. The early workout wasn't suffering. It was building proof that he could do difficult things before the day even started. And there's a brain component too. Your mind craves easy rewards, scrolling, snacking, notifications, quick dopamine. But when you give it something hard first thing in the morning, you reset the baseline. Regular tasks stop feeling heavy because you've already done heavier. This is what the Zen masters understood. The path to ease goes through difficulty, not around it. Gohan stopped forcing himself. His nature started to shift. So now you get the principle. Mental Teflon, tactical friction, the lotus using the mud instead of drowning in it. But principles don't change your life. Systems do. Let me give you the exact system. 3 pillars, every day. Simple enough to start tomorrow. Part 3, the 3 pillars. All right, here's where it gets practical. The monks didn't just meditate and hope for the best. They had structure, rituals, a daily system that trained the body, mind, and spirit together. In Eastern philosophy, these 3 are connected. You can't sharpen the mind while the body stays soft. You can't build courage while avoiding hard truths. They work as one. The Lotus Method follows the same idea. 3 pillars, every day. Pillar 1, the physical anchor, something that hurts for 5 to 10 minutes. First thing, cold shower, burpees until you can't breathe, a heavy lift, sprints. This isn't about fitness. This is about killing the soft version of you before the day starts. Gohan picked cold showers, 2 minutes, every morning before he could negotiate with himself. Why? Because the body leads the mind. When you prove to yourself that you can do something uncomfortable before breakfast, you walk into your day different. You're not hoping you can handle what comes. You already handled something harder. Pillar 2, the mental deep dive, 90 minutes, one task. The thing you've been avoiding, not email, not busy work, the real thing, the project you keep pushing, the skill you're scared to start, the work that actually matters. Gohan's was writing. He'd been wanting to write for 3 years, never started, always had excuses. Now it's the first thing he does after the cold shower, 90 minutes. Phone in another room, just him and the blank page. This is where the lotus pushes through the thickest mud. No distractions, no escape routes. Pillar 3, the radical truth. This one's different. And most people skip it. Have the conversation you've been avoiding. Say the no you've been holding back. Tell someone the truth you've been sitting on. This is emotional hardness, not discipline, courage. Gohan realized his body was getting stronger. His focus was sharper, but he was still avoiding certain people, still holding back things he needed to say, still soft where it mattered most. So he added this, 1 hard truth per day, sometimes small, sometimes terrifying. The Zen masters called this right speech. Not just saying nice things, saying true things, even when it's uncomfortable. You can have a strong body and a sharp mind, but if you can't speak truth and hold boundaries, you're still fragile. 1 physical challenge, 1 mental challenge, 1 emotional challenge, every day. That's the system. Simple to understand, hard to do. But here's what nobody tells you. If you do this for a week, you'll feel good. A month, you'll see changes. But if you do this for 100 days, something happens that's hard to explain until you feel it. Your whole identity starts to shift. Part 4, the bloom. The first 30 days suck. I'm not gonna lie, you're forcing yourself. Negotiating with your brain every morning. The cold shower feels like punishment. The deep work feels impossible. The hard conversations make you want to hide. That's the mud phase, and it's supposed to feel like that. The Zen monks called this Shoshin, beginner's mind. Everything is hard because everything is new. You're building neural pathways that don't exist yet, fighting patterns that have been running your whole life. Gohan wanted to quit around day 12. Then again around day 23, the voice in his head kept saying, this isn't working, and you're not built for this, and just take 1 day off. He didn't listen, not because he's special, because he understood something. The mud is supposed to feel like mud. That's the whole point. If it felt easy, it wouldn't change anything. But somewhere around day 60, 70, maybe 100, something shifts, and it's hard to describe until you feel it. The monks had a word for this too. They called it shugyo, the transformation that happens when practice becomes part of you. Not something you do, something you are. It's like learning to drive. Remember when you first started? Checking mirrors, thinking about the pedals, hands gripping the wheel. Every action required conscious effort. Now, you just drive. Your body knows what to do. You don't think about it. That's what happens with the Lotus Method. Gohan stopped waking up and asking himself, should I take the cold shower today? The question disappeared. He just does it. Like brushing his teeth, like breathing. The deep work isn't a battle anymore. He sits down and starts. No negotiation, no warm-up rituals, no checking his phone, real quick first. The hard conversations still feel hard, but he has them anyway, because that's what he does now. You stop saying, I'm trying to be disciplined. You start saying, I'm someone who does hard things. That's not a small change, that's everything. In Buddhist philosophy, there's this idea that we suffer because we cling to a false sense of self. We think we are a certain way, lazy, undisciplined, weak, and we keep proving it to ourselves with our actions. But the self isn't fixed, it's fluid, it's built by what you do repeatedly. The Lotus Method isn't really about cold showers or deep work or hard conversations. It's about rebuilding your identity from the ground up, action by action, day by day. Gohan used to say, I'm not a morning person. Now he's up at 5:30 without an alarm. He used to say, I'm bad at confrontation. Now he speaks his mind clearly. He used to say, I'm a procrastinator. Now he does the hard thing first. Same guy, different identity, built in the mud. A lotus doesn't try to be a lotus. It doesn't wake up and force itself to bloom. It just is what it is. That's the bloom. The mud didn't break him. The mud built him, and it'll do the same thing to you if you let it.